I waved at Mick and Carrie, who were driving off after dropping AJ home after his game. Henry would be home in about 3 hours. Ollie, Eric, and Bradford were already napping in the nursery. All I had to do was get AJ's tired body down for a nap, then I could plan a night with my husband. Sex night. All night long. No interruptions because my parents were coming after dinner to take all our boys for the night. I just needed to get my little AJ to bed. He had an exhaustive day, starting pretty early since he had a baseball game and had to travel early to get to it. Then there was the long travel back after the game. Thank God, he had a shower and a meal after the game, or there would be no getting him down. I watched him dance around in our foyer, happy that he saw his grandparents and won his game. Smiling, I make my way to our stairs and hold out my hand.
Come on, AJ.
Let's get your tired body down for a nap. I laughed at my second son as he gave me the pouty face. Mommy, I want to wait for Dad. He always tucks me in. Dad's at work, AJ. He tucks you boys in at night. It's nap time, not bedtime, honey. Bradford is ready to meet you in dreamland. Let's go see. I smiled when we got to the nursery and peered into Bradford's crib. My youngest son was sleeping peacefully on his back. AJ smiled. He's already there. Yes, he is, and so are Ollie and Eric. I whispered as I pointed to my other 2 boys' beds, who looked as though they had fallen asleep mid-play with their army men. When you all awaken, Henry will be home from camp to play with you all until Graham V and Papa Patty come to get you. Yay! My son raced to his designated bed in the playroom. He's only 9, but he looked as though he were as big as 12. Like his brothers, he is a voracious eater, and I can't tell you how sad I was when my back would not allow me to pick him up anymore. I still miss it, even with having the smaller ones. AJ was the first one I had from birth, and to have watched him grow over the years has been amazing. Henry, my adopted love, is now 12, and the feelings I had about AJ growing started with him. I kissed Ollie and Eric in their beds and safely removed their toys. AJ was already in his bed when I checked on him. I bent to kiss him, but I frowned instead. AJ. Yes, Mommy? Grandpa Mick slipped you a chocolate before he left, didn't he? AJ laughed and covered his mouth. No, he laughed again. I shook my head. I really hope he did. I see something brown on your ear. That is not where the candy goes, you know. And definitely not where poop comes from. Which is it, AJ? Chocolate or poop? I asked as I tickled him. AJ laughed again. I went to the washroom and got a warm towel to clean his ear. When I returned, I momentarily startled, seeing the back of a man's head in the nursery as he held tightly to AJ. I relaxed when I realized it was Robert, my assistant. And you'll grow into a good, strong man and give your mommy lots of grandbabies with a good woman who will love you as much as I love your mother. I frowned. What the hell? You love my mommy? I do, AJ, since the day I met her. Robert's head turned and looked at me in a way he had never looked at me before. It took me by surprise, and I frowned again, thinking, what the hell was this? Robert was in love with me? No. He's in love with his wife, not me. A crap. I am about to lose the second-best assistant I have ever had.
Shit.
And Gia? She's going to kill me, revive me, then kill me again. And so soon after I finally got my shit together. Never a dull fucking moment in this Cannon household. Robert turned back to my son, grinning at him. I love you also, AJ. I have since the day I found out you were coming. Your mommy and I lived in Chicago then, and she told me you were coming while we stood under a tree. I gasped. I know I paled. Were you talking about me lots? We were, Robert nodded. Mommy tried to play a joke on me about you, but I figured it out. When I did, I fell even harder for her, and you were instantly in my heart, too. Mommy says she was excited and scared when I was in her tummy. Robert laughed.
She was.
So was I, but I never showed her how scared I was. Well, I was more nervous than scared. Someday, AJ, you should get her to tell you about the day your cousin, Kelly, was born. That's when she was scared the most, but she calmed after she threatened to hurt me in a way no man should be hurt. Tears poured down my face. Where's he getting this from? I never threatened to hurt him, ever. When Kelly was born, Robert was nowhere around. It was my brother Eric, his partner Jason, my parents, me, and Adam. I threatened no one but Adam that day, and felt I was so right in doing so. Robert sighed, then caressed AJ's head. I'm sorry we never met. I meet you every day. AJ giggled. Robert looked at me and chuckled. Yes, you do, and I will continue to see you. Every day, but you may not see me. My head tilted with my frown.
Huh?
Why wouldn't he see him? Right, he's going to have to quit now. Or I'll have to fire him. Okay. AJ yawned. Okay, let's get that nap going, Robert said, tucking my son under the covers. He then looked in my eyes again. It's a deep, soul-searching look. You remember what your mommy told you about the wind, AJ? Yes, AJ excitedly answered. When the wind blows, Daddy is sending me a kiss from heaven, and you told me he is saying I love you to me too. That's right. That will always be true, even if you live to be 93, AJ. Never forget that, okay? Okay, AJ grinned. Always stop what I'm doing and feel it. Always stop and feel it, Robert confirmed. And tell him you love him, too. Just then, a wind blows into the window nearest to AJ's bed. My son smiled, closed his eyes, and whispered, I love you too, Daddy. Robert smiled, then walked over and took the towel from my shaking fingers. You're doing beautifully with him, he whispered to me. I silently watched as he cleaned AJ's ear, then hugged AJ tightly, lingering. I shuddered. It had to be my imagination. I was dreaming. Yeah, I'm sleeping, and this is a dream, and I'm going to wake any second now. I pinched myself and bit my lip to keep the cry of pain at bay. AJ lay down again and soon fell asleep, holding his Mustang plush car, the only toy Adam bought for our son. We had every gift in place from the baby shower, and Adam saw that toy when we were choosing baby furniture a week before he was killed. Robert kissed his head, then rubbed it gently while staring at his sleeping face. I love you with my all, Robert whispered.
And we'll always miss you, Mini-Me.
I felt a tear escape and shuddered as I left my son's room. Mini-Me? This is not possible, is it? Can't be. Has to be. How? Did Adam tell Robert about our talk under that tree? No, he wouldn't have. Couldn't have. Could he? I startled as Robert closed the bedroom door and set the monitor on a hall table. He walked over to me and smiled. He still has that toy car, Robert smiles. I still think I should have gotten the red one, too, but that blue one is holding up well. Something happened. I couldn't understand it at first. He changed suddenly and I saw... No, impossible. I thought when I witnessed Robert practically morph into my deceased husband, then screamed and promptly fainted. That's it, wake up. Pooh. I groaned, feeling a cool towel being patted on my head. Opening my eyes, I saw that face again. I realized I'm on my bed and attempted to scramble away. He caught my arm, held me still, and kept me close. How? What but?
How?
The how is, I took over Robert's body again. Again? I whispered, trying to understand. You've done it before? He nodded. I wanted a perfect doing this before talking to you. I stared and stared. I can't believe. How am I seeing you? You're seeing what you remember of me, Pooh. It's a little mind trick I learned. But why? Why now? Because I needed you to see I am okay, and have been for a while. Not as long as you would think. But I'm okay with your new life, and I am glad you were able to move on after me. I softly caressed his cheek and whispered as tears stung. Did you fight to stay? With everything in me. I didn't want to go, but I had to for many reasons that you would never understand, Pooh. I fought hard, but what God wants. I nodded. I know. I just wish he didn't want you. He was right, as he always is. You were meant for Matthew. Made for him. I was in the way, and I think he knew I could never willingly let you go. I nodded again and sighed when he softly stroked my hair in the way he used to do when we were together. I missed it. My eyes closed, and I cherished the feel of his touch on my cool skin. I do love you, Adam. I know you do. You loved me when I was alive, and I felt it, valued it. I miss it, but it should not have been mine. It was Matthew's. I realize that now. I think you and I came together so AJ could be born to a good woman who would protect and love him, no matter what. Why am I seeing you now? AJ has been saying I love you, Daddy, to the wind since he was 2. This is the last time I will be able to do this. I wanted a proper goodbye with you. I never got one and I missed it. I miss you. I miss you too, but I know, Pooh. You know what, Adam? Your feelings, he whispered. When you and Matthew got engaged, I know what you said. Goodbye, Adam. I'll always love you, but it's Matthew's time now. I felt that you meant it, and I stayed away after hearing that truth. I did mean it, I nod. You're everything I know, but
Pooh, he didn't get you by default.
I did, and the only thing I regret about us is the brief time we got together and having to leave you. Stop, I pleaded, my sobs taking over again. His arms tightened around me, and I let him hold me. Even though this was Robert's body, I smelled him. Adam. I breathed him in. I smelled that Adam scent. Shoo, Pooh. Don't cry. I'm trying not to, but I missed you. I can even smell you. I missed it so much. I sometimes smell that on Mick, and you rush into my mind. I know. The day you told him you were moving to California, I saw the way you snuggled into him. It made me smile. Do you always know where I am? Pretty much, Adam chuckled. I often look back on everything you've said and done since I've been gone from your life. You don't know how many times I wished I were there when you went to Mariah's side in the hospital. I hated she had to go through that, but several things needed to happen, and her ordeal bridged that. Matthew and I finally getting together? Yes, he smiled softly. And I agreed with her 100%. You needed to give him hell first, Pooh. Not for what you think, but because you made me squirm when we were getting together. I smiled, then exhaled deeply as I took in his features. You leaving broke me. I didn't want to move on. I wanted to mourn you for the rest of my life. And that would have been a grave mistake. You are built to be loved. You're built to love. I know you love your children, but you need to be in a relationship with a man who needs your love. Matthew is that man now, but believe me, I was that man when I was with you. Even after I left, I wanted that love. I believe you. I needed your love, too. You will always have it. And had I stayed, I would have fought like Matthew did if you tried pulling away from me after only 3 years. As it is, I will miss not being able to grow old with you. I will miss the look of love and pride on your face when you see your first grandchild. And you were wrong. It's not coming from Matthew, too. I laughed. Who's it coming from? That's all I'm telling you, Pooh. Adam smiled. I will say this. You will want to strangle him when you're told because of the child's age. Just go easy on him when he tells you, and remember you were young once, too. I nodded with a giggle. I'll try to remember that. Good. He smiled, gripping my hand. I have to go now. Already. My eyes watered, and I trembled. This is really goodbye, isn't it? It is, he sighed and stood. This will be the last time I will contact you and AJ. You have to live your lives. Next time you see me, I'll be at the gates, waiting to greet you. I inhaled, feeling the finality of losing him, his loss. He's going, and I won't ever feel him again. Adam? Why this body? Why Robert? Because he's usually close but is so removed from you. He loves you, but it's a friend love. I was going to go with Matthew, but he has a pull. He's so drawn to you, and it's too hard to fight. It's similar to mine but stronger. If I jumped into him, I would be tempted to take advantage and do something I have no business doing with a married woman. I stood in front of him. I'm glad you behaved. I really am, as for now. You were always his. You will always be his, Madison. You know that now. Yes, I'm his here. What about when my body dies? Who will have my soul? Who has that now, Pooh? Fresh tears streamed down my cheeks. I had to say it, but I didn't want to, not in front of him. Adam gripped my chin and pushed my head up. Say it, Pooh, he urged. Matthew, I said softly. To my surprise, he smiled. As he should. I nodded, knowing he's right. Matthew owned me, everything about me, And that's the way I wanted it, but Adam was the one who broke through and started to free me. If he had lived, if I have to return Robert's body to your office. I will not take him over again, and I won't be around so much, but I'll be near. Please keep telling AJ stories about me. Assure him that I did not want to leave him, and how sorry I am that I had to. And tell him I miss him, and will forever. I will, I promise. Good. I heard strong, confident footsteps on the stairs, but ignored them as I touched Adam's face again. May I have a goodbye kiss? I whispered. Just a small one. Do you know who is coming up the stairs?
No.
Yes, you do, Madison, he sighed. I would love to press my lips to yours, but I will not let him.
I can't hurt him that way.
He will not like it at all, and he doesn't deserve that pain. I moved closer to him and stared longingly into his eyes. I didn't care who that was. I wanted that kiss. I didn't get one before he died, and I wanted it. I yearned and ached for it. I needed it, and if it's the last time he will do this, then my only chance was now. Matthew appeared in the doorway, but my eyes wouldn't leave Adam's face. What the hell is going on in here? Matthew roared, storming into the room. In my fucking home with my sons a few feet away? Explain, Madison. I trusted you.
How?
I put my hand up to Matthew, stopping him cold. My eyes remained on Adam. Please, I implored again. Your husband, Pooh, Adam sighed. Matthew was scowling, tension radiating off him, and tremors were taking over every inch of his body as he glared at us. I vowed to take care of him later. I only had Adam for a few more moments, and I just could not let this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity slip by. I looked back at Adam. I'll explain it to him later. I'm going to ask for his consent, Adam said. It's the right thing to do, even though he may never look at Robert the same way again. Make him see what I see, I whispered. Make him understand. Adam stared, thinking hard as his eyes pierced my soul. He wanted this, too. Finally, he nodded, then turned to my still scowling husband. They stared at one another. Matthew's eyes widened, and he paled as he stumbled backwards. Cannon, Adam called. I never thanked you for our convo after that first Rita fiasco, or for helping Madison and me reunite. I was grateful, especially after figuring out that you loved her, even then, and it meant losing her. Matthew gasped and stared rigidly at Adam. How the hell am I seeing? Is this a joke? A mirage? What was in that damn tea I just had? Neither, Cannon, Adam assured. It's forbidden, but I needed to speak to Madison and AJ one last time and hold my son again. Matthew stared silently at Adam, shocking me that he was at a loss for words.
I have to go now, Cannon.
I will never invade anyone again to see her, or AJ. I want to kiss her goodbye because we never got that closure, but I won't without your permission. Do I have it? Matthew blinked, absorbing Adam's words. I silently begged Matthew to let this happen when his gaze moved to me. Finally, Matthew painfully nodded his head, then disappeared through the doorway, but I could see his shadow on the floor. I turned to Adam. His hands cupped my face, his head lowered, and he kissed my lips softly, briefly, and he held me as tightly as I held him. Too soon, he pulled away. Goodbye, Madison Cannon, Adam whispered. I love you. Goodbye, Adam, I answered in a choke. I love you, too. I watched him walk to the door, where he paused, then turned to me, his eyes glassing over. He winked and left the room. Keep cherishing her, Adam murmured. She will never disappoint you, and will love you until her dying breath and beyond. Why now, Adam? Matthew asked quietly. She needed one last bit of closure. Honesty, so did I, but she was owed this. Thank you, I think, Matthew responded. No, Adam sighed. Thank you. Matthew appeared in the doorway again. I gasped, knowing Adam was gone again. I dropped to the floor, wailing. Relief and tension leave my body as strong arms embrace me, holding me tightly as I'm lifted from the floor. I wrapped my arms around Matthew's neck as he carried me to our bed. He left me briefly and returned with a cool towel. My husband patted my eyes and soothed me with his soft, sweet words. I calmed soon after, playing the insane shit I'd just experienced over and over in my head. My husband turned my head to face him. How did this happen? I don't know, I answered honestly. I was putting AJ down for a nap after Mick and Carrie left, and the next thing I knew, Robert was in the nursery telling AJ stuff that only Adam knew. He got him to sleep, and when I realized what was going on, I fainted. He brought me in here and told me he missed me, but knew I was meant for you and believes once and for all that I am yours, that I always have been and always will be. Matthew nodded. I'm having a hard time believing these events, Smooch, even though he said some things to me that only Adam would know. I know, I sighed. If I didn't see it with my own eyes. Hold me, I asked my husband. His arms wrapped around me immediately. Are you very upset about the kiss? I should be, he said quietly. But no, I think Adam was right. It was more closure that you needed about him. I would feel differently if I actually saw it. I sighed. I can't even say I'm sorry, because that would be a lie. He was taken from me with no preamble. I didn't even get to go to his funeral. Matthew stared at me, then nodded. I know, Smooch, but as I said, I'm glad I didn't see it. And don't call me Matthew.
You know how much I hate that.
I get that, and I'm sorry. I frowned. Why are you home? Is something wrong? I had an erection, Matthew informed. Thought you'd like to help me with it. Nodding, I giggled. Matthew asked, are you okay after today? I am, I assured. Good, Matthew said, kissing my head. I'm glad you got this closure. I hugged my husband tightly. I love you. I always will. I know, and I will always love you no matter what. I nodded and kissed him softly. Thank you for understanding. He nodded, then caressed my cheek as he stared at my face. Do you think Robert is okay? Let's go see, SMF. We left our room, and I led him to the office, where Robert was sitting, looking over something on the iPad. Oh, there you are, Robert smiled. Hi, Matthew. So, Madison, I've wrapped everything up for the day. Your schedule is printed out and on your desk, and once you confirm, I will sync the approvals to your phone. Busy day tomorrow, so I'm going to head out early, unless you need something else. No, I said quickly. I'll see you Monday morning. Good. Robert smiled, then frowned. Are you two okay? Fine. Matthew and I said together fast, staring at a completely oblivious Robert. You guys have been together too long, he chuckled. Don't forget Bella's party tomorrow. 2:00. We won't forget, Matthew replied, still watching him. No, we won't, I confirmed. I can't wait to see the new house. Good. See you all tomorrow, Robert smiled. He grabbed a tissue from my desk and then wiped his mouth. Why do I feel like I'm wearing lipstick? He shrugged and, after a nod in our direction, he left us. Matthew and I stared at one another. He cleared his throat. Are you okay? I smiled at him. Better. I feel beyond fabulous. Relieved. Me too, he smiled at me. But I'm thinking we keep this to ourselves for a while. A while? I scoffed. Try forever. No one is ever going to believe this shit, SMF. You're right, Smooch, my husband nodded. Just one thing, and this is dropped. His expression concerned me. I hadn't seen him look this serious since right before he proposed to me. What, SMF? I whispered. I need to get back to work. Are you going to do something about my erection, or do I have to hop in the shower and take care of myself? I smirked. Let's combine the two, hubby. I'll do something about that erection in the shower. Lucky me. I heard him groan behind me, and I squealed when he lifted me and ran to our bathroom. Let's get me exhausted so that I can't go back to work, Matthew chuckled. He turned on the water and flicked me with cool liquid. I gasped and sat up in bed. I looked around, wondering why it was so dark and the clock read it was past midnight, and realized it was all a dream. I shook my head and lay down again, cuddling into my husband. Matthew, as usual, was naked and snoring. I giggled at the sound and sighed. I needed my best friend. I grabbed my phone and rushed to our bathroom. I locked the door and sent a text to Mariah and was relieved when she answered with a video request. I quickly answered. Poopsie, do not ever again tell me about your nightmares, I demanded. She giggled. Poopsie, why? Because you will not believe the doozy I just had. Listen.